What I would say to parents facing a custody case is to think about your children before you start the process. And it may surprise you to know this, but your children probably don't want you to be divorced. And we know that divorce hurts kids, but we also know that the less the parties fight, the less they disagree, and the more they're able to get along and co-parent their children, then the less hurtful that is for the kids.
In New Mexico, the legal standard used to determine child custody and support is the best interest of the child. What that means is the courts are not interested in what is in the best interest of the parties, the parents. However, they focus their attention on what is in the best interest of the child. And when that comes to timeshare, legal custody, schooling, and many other aspects. And once the parents understand that, they can quickly and successfully come to a resolution of their custody case.
A custody case generally looks like trying to figure out a parenting plan, a timeshare for the two parties. If they can go into mediation and try to figure out their parenting plan, that's always the best, when parents can agree on what they're going to do for their children. If they cannot, then there are other processes that they can go into, either a guardian ad litem process or a custody evaluation process. But all of it's really just to get to a parenting plan for their children.
We believe that a child should never be asked to choose one parent or one household over another. When a client comes to us and says, "Can't my child just talk to the judge?" or "Can't we just ask my child where he or she wants to live?" there are far better ways to deal with this process, and that's really where our expertise as family lawyers lies.
A custody evaluation is something we use in our most difficult cases, the intractable ones. It's a neutral expert, a child psychologist, who is able to meet with the parties, the parents, the children, and anybody else that's important to the case. And they can do psychological testing if necessary, and they can really boil down a case into educated, informed recommendations that they can make to the court, which helps the court make its decision regarding custody. And so the upside is that they can be really good at solving a very difficult case. The downside is they can be very expensive and very time-consuming. That's why we only use them as a last resort in most of our cases.
Some of the problems that parents face when they're going through a custody case is that they get very emotional, which is understandable, it's their children, but they lose sight of the big picture, which is that they're going to get through this with the help of good lawyers, and they're going to work out a parenting plan, and it's going to be the best for their children. They're both going to be able to see their children, and we're going to work that out and get a parenting plan, because that's something that they're going to have to do, is to parent their children for the rest of their lives, and we can help them do that.
People really need to understand that there is no one way to do a custody case, and that you have a lot of different options that are really only limited by your ability to get along and by your imagination in the case. You don't always have to go to court. You certainly don't have to let a judge decide what the custody of your child is going to look like.